Good morning and happy Friday. How's everybody doing today? So, want to reach out and give you some information on what's going on in the markets today or this week. So, actually, last week unemployment numbers came out, and they actually said that employment rates went down and that would actually make it our lowest unemployment rate in like over 50 years. Then how come we're all hearing about all these layoffs and stuff that are going on? That just doesn't feel right. So looked into it, found some information I want to bring to you to help show you what's really going on. I respect that there's all kinds of political stuff that goes on, and people try to push different agendas. Sometimes I wish people would just put out the real numbers, live with what they say, and move forward so we're all working from the same information as opposed to pushing an agenda. But we know what happens. So we all know a lot of disinformation has been coming out of Russia towards Ukraine too. So that is life. So, anyways, here's what's going on with that. And so let's shrink me and let's let Barry and his son talk about this. And I want to talk about unemployment numbers and what's really going on there so that you know what's real.
Bullard this morning on CNBC where he said it was a blowout jobs report. And he's speaking of the 517,000 job creations in the month of January. So the unemployment is ticking down, not up, to a 50-year low. So clearly this is what the Fed is looking at and what the Fed is seeing. Now, our whole team this morning, we spent a lot of time putting things together for you. So I believe that you could see a lot more clearly and beyond what the Fed is looking at, which appears to be face value. So first off, as we go through here, yes, it appeared to be a blowout number of 517,000. Now, this is total non-farm payroll, but it is seasonally adjusted, where it showed we gained 517,000 jobs. Now, take this away for a second. You can see the overall trend has been a little bit lower in job creations, and certainly anecdotally, we're hearing about all of these layoffs. So why is this not squaring? Well, I think if you take a look at when you do not seasonally adjust the numbers, meaning the raw data, this is the actual measurement of data. Whoa, look out below. There was not a gain, but a loss of 2,505,000 jobs lost in January. And here it is directly from the BLS report. So you could see there was clearly a loss of 2,505,000 jobs. But the expectation was for somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 million jobs to be lost. So with the magic of seasonal adjustments, it looks as if we gained 517,000 jobs. But this is, once again, not a real number. It's an adjustment number. So the Fed's taking it as gospel. Now, look, in all fairness, there's a reason for seasonal adjustments. This is a long history of seasonal adjustment numbers that you could see. But if they were not seasonally adjusted, it would look something like this. So it would be much more volatile. So we can understand that seasonal adjustments do help to get some of the noise out and smooth things out. I think it's designed to try to be more reliable. But I think you almost have to look at both of these numbers in concert to get a true, clear picture. And when we take a look at the unemployment rate, this is something that I believe is very important for us because you can see the unemployment rate is 3.4%. And Dan, I know that you spent a lot of time breaking this down because this comes from another survey. Right now, James Bullard said that the unemployment rate is ticking down, not up to that 50-year low. Let's see if that was brilliantly disguised as well.
Yeah, so Barry, as you mentioned, this comes from the household survey, has its own job creation component, and there were adjustments within this report that significantly impacted that unemployment rate. Let's take a look at a couple more charts here. So the top chart here shows you the seasonal adjusted numbers. So this is the U3 unemployment rate. This is the one the media talks about. And this is the report, when you look at it at face value, what you're seeing. And you saw the unemployment rate decline from 3.5 to 3.4%. So it appeared that the unemployment rate moved lower. This is the strongest jobs market in 50 years since 1969. Now, of course, that smells a little bit and doesn't make sense based on all the anecdotal stuff that we're seeing out there. But when you take a look at the unadjusted number, wow, isn't it interesting that it actually went up to 3.9%? Now, this can be looked at potentially as a leading indicator, so might be showing us where the unemployment rate is heading. But in any case, how is there this big difference between the seasonally adjusted and the non-seasonally adjusted? This is right from the BLS, from their household survey. And you can see that the job creation component within this survey showed 894,000 jobs created. This is what was expressed in the media, and this is the reason why the unemployment rate declined from 3.5 to 3.4%. But if you look deeper, 810,000 of those job creations were from population controls. When you remove that, there was really only 84,000 jobs. So what happened here? Well, throughout earlier in 2022, you had illegal workers that they weren't counting, and then now they've lumped them all into January and made it look like all these job creations were in the month of January instead of earlier in 2022. Now, one other thing here is that the ADP report, which we know is looking at 25 million actual payrolls, only showed about 106,000 job creations. I tend to think, especially with all these adjustments, that that's a better number. But also the Fed members out there, you wonder, they're making all these monetary decisions based on these reports. With all these adjustments, do they know? And they just, are playing along with this because it fits their narrative and gives them cover to continue hiking? Or maybe they don't know. In any case, it's a scary thing to think about.
Yeah, and
Interesting to hear about that, huh? So we think about that. So the next unemployment is going to come out on March 3rd, because it's first Friday of the month. And if we take out that 810,000 adjustment for people that are coming into the workforce, then we're going to see what happens to our unemployment rate on early next month. And then on February 10th, or excuse me, March 10th, the Fed speaks again. We believe they're going to raise another quarter. And then they may do another quarter later in 23. So the pain is not over yet, and rates obviously don't like that because again, interest rates are tied to inflation, not to what the market specifically. So that means we may see some more pain in interest rates. So you need to know that because that will affect your business. So the other thing that happened starting tomorrow, Fannie Mae is tightening up on their underwriting guidelines. So subsequently, if you have a low down payment and a low credit score and a high income to debt ratio, it is going to be more difficult tomorrow than it is today to get a loan from Fannie Mae. So they're just tightening up their underwriting guidelines. And so you need to know that's going on too. So if you've got people that got pre-approved even this week, and they may not be approved starting tomorrow. So get with your people if and make sure your lenders know it because we all work from the same system on that one. The other thing that's going on, FHA came out this week and they've decided that they're going to lower their mortgage insurance premium. Yes, thank goodness. And they're lowering it by 36%. So currently, if you do like under 5% down payment on an FHA loan, that mortgage insurance factor is a 0.85% of the loan amount. Well, starting on March 20th, so we have to pull an FHA case number as of March 20th, that number is going to drop to 0.55, a decrease of about 36%. Well, that's like almost 3/8 in rate. So that's huge. So I read some numbers, and on a $450,000 loan amount, it's like $120 in the mortgage insurance. It's going to go down. So hopefully this stuff helps. Hope you guys have a great weekend. And if I can help you, please let me know. 541-735-9857. Have a great weekend.